Alright, we are less than 7 hours away from the launch of Battlefield 4. You know, I'm probably more excited about this game than I was about Battlefield 3 because at the time, Bad Company 2 was still rocking and I didn't really know how much better the Battlefield games could get. Yeah, Bad Company held us down for quite some time, but this is, after the beta, and it, you know, what the beta did is it confirmed that it wasn't just Battlefield 3.5. Yeah, it's only been 2 years, but there's been so much work done on this game that made it a true sequel. And it goes above and beyond what we all have expected, and I played 60 hours of the beta map, which was the Siege of Shanghai map, and never got tired of it, not even close. As a matter of fact, the last 2 weeks I've been itching to play it, just that map. So I can't wait till we get all our good stuff and all our weapons, and I can't wait to start unlocking my big ammo box and get everybody on. So get ready for the launch party. Hopefully a few of you guys will be there. And that's the deal. We're going to do some talking on Skype. I'm going to be helping some people configure their system to overclock. And we'll do some other things. You want to try to get maximum performance out of your rig for this game. What this game needs, it needs at least a quad core with some high clock speeds. AMD or Intel will work. Memory bandwidth is actually a big deal this time. I know that sounds crazy, but they posted from the company Crucial that memory bandwidth between the CPU and your memory is important, and this is the only game that it affects, which is weird because this has been thoroughly tested by so many guys at Linus, Tom's Hardware, Tech Power Up, you name it, that memory bandwidth almost has no effect on the games, and latency, getting the cast latency down a little bit can help, and the megahertz can help a little bit, but 1 or 2 frames per second at the most. Now it's a big deal. So you definitely want to have either a high megahertz memory frequency. You definitely want to be running in dual channel. 3 channels or 4 channels if you have the kind of system to do that. So if you're on X58 or X79, you are going to be running in multi-channel configuration, getting the most out of your system that way. And in this game, it will make a difference. Also, graphics cards. You're going to want a beefy graphics card. I would say to comfortably play this game at high or ultra settings, you're going to need at least 2 gigabytes of video RAM for 1080, and more than that if you want to punch it up to Quad HD or even higher. So definitely you want to have a good bit of memory, and that memory is also going to be needing, you know, clock speed. Now you can't adjust much else on the video cards other than its core clock and the memory clock, and I just pushed mine even further, so I'll test it out tonight. Hopefully everything is stable. But I'm trying to squeeze as much as I can out of my 680 for this game, but there's been a price drop on the 780, so I might be picking one of those up. We'll have to see how everything looks around Christmas time, but I am very excited. On other news, NVIDIA drivers have been released yesterday, or today technically, depending on where you live, which introduces Shadow Play, which I am not going to start using yet. I'm probably going to play with it throughout the week, but the fact that it's stuck at 60 FPS, whether that's fine, but for YouTube it's unnecessary. I'd rather drop it down to 30. But I'm going to stick with the DX Tori for now, but as the Shadow Play comes out of beta, we're going to take a look, and that might be a new way that I can stream to Twitch for you guys, and that'd be awesome. Or also record my videos in a different fashion and save hard drive space, because right now I'm using about 2 to 3 gigabytes per minute when I'm recording. So I'm recording onto my Samsung SSD. And the reason for that is the quality is pretty good, but I'm scaling down from 2560 1440p to 1080 at 30 frames. So that's where my performance hit's coming from. My CPU is having to do all that work while running Battlefield, so it's kind of overworked right now. Even though it's still running like 50-60 frames per second, I'd like to get it completely synced at 65 hertz and all that. So that's pretty much my rant for right now, as Everybody's waiting for this to go ahead and start up. So the beta was really stable. So I mean, really stable as a beta should be and can be. But I've got confidence in DICE and EA to push enough money into this to make the launch as smooth as possible. So hopefully we get to play a good bit tonight. If not, I'm gonna hit up the single player, and I will be posting videos on the single player, probably all of it, on the YouTube channel. So I will see you guys in about 6 hours is when I'm gonna start my little launch party, which will be just a couple of friends in Skype talking shit, you know, getting some final settings tweaked out and so on as we get ready to own some shit. And I'll catch you guys later.